Welcome back to CARAHCAST, the podcast from Carasoft, the trusted government IT solutions provider. Subscribe to get the latest technology updates in the public sector. I'm Anthony Jimenez, your host from the Carasoft production team. On behalf of Okta and Credenti, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, focused around staying ahead in the evolving landscape of CJIS compliance. Scott Murphy, IT Director of the City of Northport, Alabama, Haskell Harper, CISO of the City of Garland, Texas, Christine Halvorsen, Public Sector CTO of Okta, and Amit Prasad, Director of Product and Engineering at Credenti, a Technics company, will discuss how government agencies can enhance CJIS compliance, improve data security, and achieve cyber insurance savings through real-world case studies and implementation of TecMFA and Tectango for police.
And welcome to our discussion around CJIS compliance. And we know this is especially important with the upcoming October 1st, 2024 deadline quickly approaching. And I'm very honored today to be joined by Haskell, Scott, Sarah, Amit, and again, myself as the public sector CTO for Okta. So I want to set the stage for today's discussion because during my 20 years of government service, including as the Assistant Director of FBI CJIS, I always found it helpful to hear how government partners overcame challenges to achieve their missions while also ensuring compliance. So today you'll first hear from Haskell of how the City of Garland faced the challenges of implementing the new CJIS requirements. After we hear about Haskell's successful journey, we will talk with Scott about his journey to achieve multi-factor authentication in a mission environment that not only had government-owned devices, but also personally owned devices, and that's a challenge in itself. And rounding out the discussion, Sarah, Amit, and I will discuss the best practice we have seen in working with our public sector customers to include vendors who are supporting them on the best practices in implementing the CJIS requirements by October 1st. Our hope in telling our story is that you take away a valuable insight that can assist you in your journey to become compliant. So I'm going to start by putting Haskell in the hot seat. So welcome, Haskell.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. And so I'm wondering, can you share some of the key challenges the City of Garland faced in complying with the CJIS requirements before implementing TecMFA?
Some of the challenge. We, like a lot of other people in that public space sector, were a little late to get on the bandwagon with multi-factor. A lot of it was institutional resistance. Some of it was, lack of funding. It wasn't really high on the list. Bunch of news events hit. We're in Texas. A lot of Texas agencies were hit a couple of years ago. So suddenly the funding appears and we get to start going down this MFA road. Like a lot of other agencies, or I'm assuming a lot of other agencies, especially in public sector, there's a big resistance to using personal devices when implementing MFA. People don't want to install apps on their personal devices as factors. So we reached out to Okta directly, being our IDP, and they specifically recommended Credenti as a solution for us. So that was great. Specifically in our police department, those guys are able to use their access badges to tap in, tap out, use them as authentication factors. They've already got them on their person at all times. So it made acceptance a lot easier in our environment.
That's great. So that's seamless integration, right,
Yes.
of solution. And so again, with that, again, were there any other user resistance or operational disruptions that you initially encountered during the process?
No. Once we identified that solution and it was acceptable to our user base, which is another key thing. I mean, you've got to get your stakeholders involved early on, figure out what the business processes are. I mean, we're a city, so I've got 45 distinct business units across my organization. I don't have a single vertical. You have to get in there early on, engage with all of your stakeholders, your business partners, figure out what their business processes are and what authentication workflows are going to work for them. Our police department has a valid concern. If they are responding to a situation and they have to authenticate to a device quickly to do something, a lot of them really don't have the time to sit there pull a cell phone out of their pocket, do a challenge response, do a number response. Oh, well, I chose SMS. Well, my carrier's taking 30 seconds to a minute to get my message to me. They need something that works fast for their business.